Let's be real for a second. You feel stuck. Deep down inside, you know that you have the potential for so much more, but for some reason, you just can't seem to break out of where you're at. You're watching other people move ahead and hit their goals, and you're sitting here thinking, why am I just not there yet? And sure, you tell yourself, I'll just get there tomorrow. But how many tomorrows have already passed? It's frustrating because deep down, you know that you're not lacking any talent or ambition. You're just waiting for the perfect moment to act. But let me just tell you that that moment will never come. But here's the truth. You don't need to wait for the perfect conditions, because the people that you see out there that are crushing it, they're taking action right now, even if things are messy. And here's the good news. You don't need to do it alone. I have a protocol that can help you in this season of your life. And I call it the Winter Arc. It is a 90-day protocol that is designed to take this stuck feeling and turn it into unstoppable momentum. Most people take their foot off the gas in the winter months, and they simply just sit around and they wait for the new year to roll around, and they waste all this incredibly valuable time. But this is exactly where the opportunity lies. As everyone starts to coast and take their foot off the gas, we are going to use that to our advantage, and we are going to lock in. Which brings us to pillar number 1, becoming a savage. You can't have both growth and comfort. One is the cost of the other. If you find yourself in life very, very comfortable, that is a clear indication that you have stopped growing. All the growth that you want is on the other side of the discomfort that you have to cross in order to get it. We always want to feel comfort, and that's the thing that we're chasing. We sit down, we write our goals. Once I hit this target, then I will become comfortable. And then you hit that goal and you get that comfort, and then you still don't feel satisfied. Anytime that I've gone through a plateau in my business, I can pinpoint it down to that I have become too comfortable in my routine, in my rhythm, in the things that I'm working on, in the challenges that I'm going after. Society is engineered to optimize for comfort, and everything that you are subjected to is purely there to beat you down, to be average and to be normal and to optimize for comfort. When you become really aware of this, you'll see patterns and you'll see like a rhythm with what you do in terms of how much you grow, then you plateau, and how much discomfort are you willing to live with in order to not have those plateaus and have it where it's always peaks and troughs, and you're always climbing to the next summit. All of the greatest people, all the people that you look up to and aspire to, these are the people who have gone through so much discomfort. Not only have they gone through that discomfort, but they actually chase it unrelentingly because they know that all the things that they want is on the other side of that. You do not want to look at all of the people around you and say they are a good indication of the actions and the level of discomfort that I am willing to burden in order to get to my goals, because average is the enemy. And even if you become a savage, none of that will matter unless you master pillar number 2, losing the perfectionist excuse. There is so much information online. People get stuck in this paralysis of trying to find the perfect plan, and they get so focused on finding the perfect plan that they never take any action. And what I have found is that it is movement and not meditation. Perfectionism is nothing more than fear in disguise. People are afraid of making mistakes rather than learning from their mistakes. And it's not about having the absolutely perfect plan that you can go out there and execute immediately that has no flaws in it. That thing doesn't exist. But what beats that every single time is an imperfect plan violently executed today. You need to take so much action to learn from all of those mistakes to navigate you to where it is that you want to go. The path that it is that you're trying to travel is not a straight line to get there. It is constant ups and downs of failures along the way, and the only way that you can speed up that learning curve is by taking more action to get a quicker feedback loop. Now that you've burned all of your excuses to the ground, it's now time to start building momentum with pillar number 3, engineering urgency. Every successful person that I have ever met has had a great level of urgency. They move around within their business, in their tasks, because there is constantly so many things that you have to focus on. If you don't have that set burning fire of urgency to burn through specific problems in a quick and timely way, all of those problems and all the things that you need to do constantly keep building up and building up and building up, and then you get bogged down and buried in work. Instead, what you need to do is set aggressive timelines, run at those things and get them done. And you need to assume that those bricks just keep falling from the sky that you're gonna need to go and fix and put into a different location. And you don't have unlimited time to work on these problems. Tomorrow there's gonna be another thing, and then there's gonna be another thing, and then you get nothing done in the first place. So if you implement just doing this, you will start to feel the groundswell and the momentum start to build. As you start to tick these things off, regardless of how small that they are, wins stack other wins. And you start to get that momentum, and then when a bigger problem comes, you've already got so much momentum that you will just run through that thing. And if you're sitting there and thinking, hey, like,
I've just got this monstrous task, where do I even begin on this?
The way that you eat an elephant is one bite at a time, and everything feels overwhelming until you actually start. So you don't want to let that feeling of overwhelm get in the actual way of beginning, because once you get in the problem, you say, oh, I need to do this, or I need to move that around, or this needs to get done. And then all of a sudden you pick your head up and you're like, hey, I've already achieved a lot just in the last hour, in the last day that I've been working on this task. And you use those wins throughout that process of solving bigger problems as the momentum that's gonna fuel the fire for the next problem. This next pillar is a simple step that 9 out of 10 people never do. It's something that they never question, and it's the reason why they never get what it is that they want in life, which is pillar number 4 of building unstoppable momentum. Most people go through life like sleepwalking zombies, and they never question all the things that they do, what time that they wake up, what time they go to bed, when they go to work, and they never question how society has been engineered. Is this serving me? Am I happy? Am I getting to where it is that I want to go? It's a very simple task to do this, yet it is the foundation and the fundamentals of the life that you live every day. How much sleep that you get, how much exercise, are you on Netflix, are you doom scrolling on TikTok? These are all the things that you're choosing to spend your time on and on your life on. They are the inputs that get you the outputs in life. It makes a lot of sense to actually put those actions under the microscope and go, are these supporting me to get to where it is that I want to go? Rather than just me being like a dead fish that goes with the flow and not question any of these assumptions, or not to be critical of how I spend my most valuable resource, which is my time. And the best mental model that I have found to solve this is to first think, what is the type of person that would be capable of achieving all of my goals and the things that I want in all the different areas of my life? What would their daily actions look like? Or better yet, what would you need to do to make it unreasonable for you not to hit your goals? Because all of these actions, they are the building blocks that lead up to the bigger wins. And it doesn't matter how small it can be, like waking up an hour early every single day. In order to win at bigger games, you have to have a longer time horizon. Yet if you look at the end, if you look at the horizon now, all of these things, they just feel so unattainable. What it comes from just thinking about, what am I doing right now? What are the sacrifices that I'm willing to make right now in order for those big term games in the future? With the groundwork now laid, it's time to introduce you to the most important pillar of them all. Pillar number 5, burning the boats. In 1519, a Spanish conquistador, Hernan Cortez, took a small army to the shores to take special treasure from an Aztec empire. This treasure had been defended for over 600 years by much bigger and more established armies. Prior to landing at the shores, Cortez explained to his men that if this mission was successful, this was going to change all of their lives forever. And he framed the treasure as being much bigger than any of the men on this mission. When the boats arrived on the shore and all the men were ready to fight, he then made an unexpected move. And he turned around and he looked at the men and he said 3 words that changed the fate of history forever. Burn the boats. He explained to his men that they were gonna either take the Aztecs' treasure and return home in their boats, or that they were gonna die. Cortez and his men not only took the treasure, but they took control of the entire Aztec Empire. Because he knew that if you want to take the island, you have to burn the boats. Most people are interested and not committed. They're interested about hitting their goals. They're interested about getting in shape. They're interested about starting their business, but they are not committed. Having a level of commitment where there are no other options, and it is incredibly empowering. When there is no plan B, plan A gets executed correctly. And if you think about it from your perspective, when was the last time that you can truly say in life that you tried 100% on something, when you gave it absolutely everything that you have? And I would hazard a guess that any of the big wins in your life is when you have gone all out, when you have gone 100%. There are very few times in life that you have the option to give something 100%. Most people just don't do it with anything. But if you truly want to get an exceptional result, you have to give it everything that you've got. Okay, so now you have 5 pillars, but none of them mean anything unless you have the 6th and final pillar. In business and in life, people always want to blame anything but themselves for the situation that they find themselves in. But if you're going to win, then you need to take ownership of everything. Everything that happens in your life, both good or bad, is your responsibility. It's because of the decisions that you made that led you to be in the position that you are in right now. It is never some outside thing, some outside claim to a lack of resources. It is always the resourcefulness. It is always the person that is able to take the most responsibility of their current circumstances, because you are in charge of everything. And that is the empowering frame that you want to operate from. Because the moment that you start to take responsibility is the moment where you take control. You can't control things that you do not take responsibility for. And that means the good, the bad, and the ugly. They are the reason that you're in the place that you are in right now. If you take these 6 core pillars and you focus on them relentlessly for the next 90 days, you will emerge out of winter a completely different person. If you liked this video, you'll love my Ghost Mode protocol. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.